Mark, believe it or not, I think it's working. The struggle with the electronics as of late. Welcome in, everybody. It is NateThology, episode 10. We have Mark Zoeller in the building for the second time this week.
Crazy.
So you have to let Troy know it's not that long of a drive, because you have a pretty long drive too. And Troy gets very worked up, like, oh, I feel like there's 3 bridges. I'm like, no, Troy, there's 3 bridges. You can choose from any one of them. He likes to make it. Actually, the irony is Joey Sweat, who lives the furthest away, is probably the most willing to head. And it's like 4 hours for him. It's not even a car ride. It's like he has to change planes.
So I was actually talking to Troy, I don't know, like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how he puts like 6,000 miles on a vehicle every year. So he's probably just trying to keep that mileage down.
Oh, God. Honestly. Well, he said that ages ago when he first started here. He was like, if my best friend wants to go shopping and it's not in New York, I make them drive. Yeah. And they have to buy me lunch. We're thrilled to have Mark Zoeller here. We're doing our best to wrap up the year with NateThology. This you gotta be kidding me. Morning. Oh, Mark's microphone's not on. There it is. We're gonna start over. Love that. Thanks. We got a phone call because Mark's microphone's not on. So we're back now. We talked a little bit about Troy. I guess that's all that matters. Never did a sound check.
Whoops.
We were busy talking about hockey.
Yeah.
Now you're on. I'm gonna triple check. I can see the lines bouncing, but now you're on. Give me a sound check, Mark.
All right, check.
There it is. Perfect. I'm like, who's calling? And I'm like, oh, it's somebody from the staff. We didn't do something right.
At least they caught it quickly.
It's always something. Yeah. So just to review, we made fun of Joey Sweat, Adam Dow, Troy Williams, Nate Dickey, Gary Keller, and now nobody has the audio. Just kidding, but they got my audio at least. So what we're doing is we're having conversations with all of the people that have been here long enough that they can blame some of their success on their relationship with Nate, I suppose, is what we're doing. So if you could start with your history and get us from high school graduation to this conversation. Jeez, we talked a little bit about hockey. We'll leave that story out. But
yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to leave out of the conversation. I don't know if this
handstands in Dallas. Handstands in Dallas.
We could talk about handstands in Dallas. So, so we're starting with high school.
Well, that's everybody's polite way of finding out where you grew up. That's all. Yeah. And you're a townie, so go ahead.
I grew up in Rochester.
Yep.
I currently live in Rochester. I've only escaped for a few years. That's for college, and we lived
a stint at the women's prison. Yep.
Yeah, to the UNH. So haven't gone very far.
Mm-hmm. So what was the major at UNH?
Sociology.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was very social.
Mm-hmm.
I did that scene. I started out with business, but it turns out I was too social, and that sent me into the sociology major because that was the path of least resistance. Mostly.
Sure.
Looking back, I should have stuck with the business major, but I had other things in my mind at the time.
Yep. Yeah. So, what's the first role out of school?
Well, to be honest with you, I ended up getting my real estate license before I was done with college.
Okay.
But I think he wants to talk about Little Debbie's.
Listen. Well, who doesn't? First of all, who doesn't want to talk about Little Debbie? But no, everybody, I know for sure, most people are not leaping straight into real estate. You know, first thing. That's all. But you, what was the precipice for you getting your license during school?
So my father was actually a builder. At the time, he's no longer building, but at the time, he was building houses. We had a realtor that we work with. He's kind of the one that got me into the business. And ultimately, I think my parents didn't like to paint houses. So every time our house needed to be painted, my father would then sell our family home. We'd move about a half mile up the road, same neighborhood, and
fresh paint.
Still live in the same neighborhood now. It's crazy. But so we ended up having a relationship with our realtor at the time. And, while I was in college, my father had mentioned, while we were selling our house, he's like, you should actually consider getting into real estate. Our agent at the time, he's like, shadow me for a day, see what you think. And, ultimately we went on, I think 3 listing appointments that day. Mike, who was the broker at the first office I was in, was the one that I went along with. And out of the 3 people that he met with, I knew 2 of them. So of course, he's like, you seem to know a lot of people, and I think you actually helped me get at least one of those listings. So thank you.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of what got me started towards getting my real estate license.
And do you do it while you're at UNH? Because I know they have a great program over there.
So I told you I switched majors.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting my real estate license before I was done with school, because school went like a few months extra.
Okay.
So I was on the 4.5-year track rather than the 4-year.
Listen, the only person I know that probably has you beat hands down is the only person I know that went to school for 7 years and isn't a doctor or a lawyer is Brad Kelly.
Yeah.
I think UNH loves him because he's to this date probably given them the most tuition money.
Yep. Good for him. We'll leave that to him.
Dr. Kelly. Yep.
So I ended up getting my real estate license the summer between what would have been the end of my senior year and the actual end of the senior year there. Actually took the real estate class with Melissa Lesniak. So we ended up joining the same brokerage at the same time. She jumped over here a lot sooner, over here to Keller Williams a lot sooner than I did.
Yeah.
I should have followed Ship, but
all I remember is the first time Nate said, Mark Zoeller is coming to play with us, because I got in. I didn't know anybody. And you got it. Did you get here in 12?
End of 2012, yeah.
Yeah, you got here in 12. So I got here in 10. You got here in 12. And I remember, maybe you remember this. I feel like, I don't know, I'm fantasizing now. I feel like there was a picture of you and you were in a tree, but maybe just wrapped around a tree. Like you like I had the high elbow tree branch picture, I think.
You can still look it up. It's on Facebook.
It's also on MySpace. Also on MySpace. I love that. Yeah, I feel like it was something with a tree. And I just remember, I'm like, okay. And then, and when you got here, and things have changed now, we know this, and we're going to talk about, obviously, the family and the girls. I think you were wildly single when you landed.
I was between relationships, so that was
Is that what we're calling it?
That was
between opportunities.
Yeah.
Yes. So most of the office, I'll let you figure out the demographic. Most of the office was very excited when you got here. I was excited for us and for you, of course. But yes,
it was a good time.
You were excited most of the office. So I know for Nate, and I know that we've had this conversation. For Nate, when he stepped away from his first brokerage and he was headed for Remax, as the story goes, before Duffy said you should fly to Texas and talk to these people with this red book. For you stepping away from or coming to play with us, a piece of it was about you wanted more. You wanted to build teams, and the mindset wasn't really there where you were.
Yeah. Completely not. I mean, I was, I was at Remax, which, at the time, I thought it was a great brokerage. I was actually very happy there. Didn't really want to switch. I met with Nate a number of times because he asked me to, not because I wanted to.
Yep.
I wish
he loves a good lunch date.
I wish I wanted to sooner.
I appreciate you saying that. Yes.
And, at the time when I ended up switching over here, there was a lot of changes going on in my world. And one of the biggest changes I wanted to make was, to my business. And the only way that I could see growing it was not in the place that I was.
Yeah.
The people that were around me were great. They were good to me. But I don't think the company that I was with was great for my long-term growth. And that's ultimately why I decided to switch on over here.
So Mark Zoeller, real estate agent at that last brokerage, was party of you? Was it just you?
Just me.
Yeah.
Solo, yeah.
And you were doing all of the things.
I was doing everything. Yeah. And it was honestly,
there was no operational support for all of the agents at your last place? No.
Nope. Okay. None whatsoever. It was just me. I mean, in fact, the training aspect of over there was just plug and play. There was no training. It was like kind of dive in with your, head first and learn it as you go. I mean, I had some people to throw questions at or, when needed, but there was no training program. There was no classes. There was no curriculum like we have here, which is fantastic.
contracts, I remember even way back when we were just New Hampshire and then moving into Maine, have been Wednesday forever. And I know with your team that you guys have team meetings religiously.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that just as a rainmaker, as a team lead. I know people are like, well, we have a team meeting. I also know Kate Drew works with you, and I know she's in a different role now, but she was an executive assistant for our last team. Like when JV was lead list, I was lead buyer specialist for Nathan Dickey and Associates, the worst law firm in America. Hated that name. And Kate Drew, we had like a hit sheet I had to hand into her. Yeah. And it was like phone calls, texts, emails, any social media I did. We were using Craigslist then, never got killed in a hotel room. Thank God. Obviously, I'm still here. People are like, what's Craigslist? Don't ask. We were using all the things. Remember, you could post on Craigslist and it was clickable. And we found some of our biggest clients doing that kind of stuff. And that sheet had to be handed in.
Yeah.
So what do you do for accountability during the week so the weekly meeting doesn't turn into a wake or a funeral? Because that can certainly happen.
Yeah. So, we have these sheets that we actually fill out on a daily basis. We don't hand them in. There's technology.
It's archaic. I know we didn't have electricity back then, Mark. It was a different time.
And to be honest with you, if it was me, you'd probably have to hand something in because technology is not my jam. But the people that I have working
as
for me,
we learned earlier this week, you sent over 82 PDFs for your class.
And then I said, you're lucky that they weren't faxes because I grew up in the time of faxes.
Donna, we got a facsimile coming in. Yep. Standing there with my Pall Mall, printing it out.
Yeah. So, luckily the team and the support that we have, they know what they're doing, which is kind of why I have them there. We submit these things through job forms. And it tells us, how many contacts they made on a daily basis, how many appointments they set up, how many listings they signed, buyers they signed. There's a multitude of questions that go beyond that. But and then Kate actually is the one that does our accountability meetings with them.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect.
And she does a fantastic job with it.
Yep. Don't want to show up with an empty sheet. Yeah. I can promise you that.
Yeah. So the accountability meetings are definitely separate from their one-on-one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And that's completely separate from our business meetings. And,
sure.
Yeah.
When do you do those? Are you guys, I feel like you guys were always Monday with those.
So we were Monday. We ended up switching it to Tuesday because I felt that it disrupted the flow of the first day of the week that you need to be productive.
Getting some traction. Yeah.
So we switched it to Tuesday. That's actually at noon because I don't want to disrupt the morning when you should be also making your calls.
Doing your things. Yep. For sure.
So we do it every Tuesday at noon. We used to do just regular straight up business meetings every week. We've changed that a little bit over time. And now we have this evolving schedule. So we do a business meeting, which kind of gives updates and things happening for the month. And then the next week we do an education, then we do a mastermind. And usually on the last meeting of the month is really, we just try to do something fun together. Yeah. Like go out to eat or go mini golf. We actually haven't done mini golf, but stuff like that.
Do you bring in the staff axe throwing?
I feel like we've been axe throwing. We've done the lock yourself in the room thing, whatever.
The panic room?
I think it's called panic room.
Yeah, they're called panic rooms usually. Yeah. Or escape room, sorry.
Escape room.
Panic room is what you want in your house if you're a billionaire and people come to kill you.
Yeah.
Escape room is the thing you pay for to have fun on a Friday with your friend. Yeah, it doesn't click for me. And I almost said I'm a golfer. I'll never say that. Sorry, God. I love golf. I don't get mini golf. I just don't. I mean,
we actually haven't done mini golf.
I appreciate as a team function, everybody's got a cocktaini. Nobody cares. Everyone's having fun. But like the express, like let's go mini golfing. Even when we're at the Cape, it'll be like Jeannie will be like, and this was when the boys were younger. Obviously, they want to go mini golfing. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna stay at the cottage we rented. I'd go, but like, anyway. But no, I appreciate that doing something different because the great Diana Kokoska said, the brain needs novelty. or craves it, right? You know, and if they're showing up, then at least there's a predictable cadence, but you're doing different things.
Yeah.
I always love to find out from team leads what they're doing with their meetings, only for the fact that I know some of them don't have a daily plug and play. This is your accountability of handing something in, then having their solo meeting, so that weekly meeting is fruitful.
Right.
It's not dark cloud and then, you know, not solution based, and not forward motion, you know.
Well, I mean, and keep in mind, we have our agents fill out those job form sheets for the accountability thing. We're not looking at them on a daily basis and saying, hey, you didn't meet your contacts today. Like, we're not like down your throat with it.
Sure.
It's more used for, okay, so you're not meeting your numbers. Like, what do you want to do to change that? Here's what you've done. Here's where you're coming from. Where do you want to go? So it's more for them than it is for us, honestly.
Is it? So, I mean, sitting now, and you said this, and we'll get there in a second. You mentioned the other day in the classroom, you dropped the fact that you're a grandfather now. Just amazing.
I'm all of a sudden old.
Yeah. The hair looks great though. You're holding on to the dark strands.
The camera's not.
I love the dark strands. I love the dark strands. God bless you. Is it a little bit freaky to sit there and be like, you're at the table, and all these people at the table are either a salary you're responsible for or somebody's lifestyle you're responsible for? Because you have to be the driving force, right? We talk about this all the time. You know, leadership exists when you leave the room. So when you're gone with Amy and the girls doing whatever, taking vacations, and I want to talk about the Hawaii picture that might or might not be on your door right now. It was way back in the day.
There's no Hawaii picture currently on the door, but
you used to have a great picture on your door, and the door was shut, and it said, "Please do not disturb. I'm planning my next vacation." And it was a picture of you on vacation, which I always adored. But you know, whether we're leading or not leading, we're leading. You know, so by example, you have to show up. I think one of the best things we can do as leaders is be consistent in the things that we do.
Yeah.
So when was that first time you're sitting at a table and you're like, everyone here thinks I know what I'm doing, right? Because we have those seminal thoughts as parents too. Like, and as we grow and become older parents and grandparents, like we're like, oh shit, my parents didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
My parents didn't know either. Nobody knows what they're doing.
We're all learning as we're going.
Yeah, we're just cobbling this thing called life together one day at a time.
You know, I mean, ultimately, you know, I want them all to succeed.
Sure.
I mean, that's really why we're here. I mean, ultimately, I started a team because I wanted to grow my business. But I also wanted to do business differently. I was working my tail off, doing a ton of hours, and it didn't make sense. I didn't have vacation time. I didn't have time off. I couldn't unplug, and I mean, I could, but it would result in less business. The only way that I could see a path forward from that, while trying to achieve those two things, would, you know, getting a personal life and increasing my business, was starting a team. And you know, ultimately that does the same thing for the people on the team. So they're all going on vacation, sometimes more than me. Little jealous. They're all going on vacation.
It's just poor planning, Mark. I guess it's just poor planning if you're not going on more vacations. Or the same, at least, right?
They're able to unplug. They're enjoying their life. Sure. And they're pulling in the income that's necessary, or we hope that they're pulling in their income that's necessary to live. So
you make a great point. I think when somebody joins a team, or maybe an outsider who's a solo artist and thinking I would never join a team because those people on the team are suckers and they're all working at the pleasure of the king, and look at Mark with his surfboards and all that, whatever. Yeah, they're wrong, right? And you just said it eloquently. Like, the whole purpose of having the team is to create a hub of leverage for everyone that's on the team.
100%.
Everyone should be able to walk away. Like I've said a million times, and I'm going to run out of space on the back of my gravestone, but if it breaks when you're on vacation, it was never working to begin with.
Right.
You know, so you said, like, I could go on vacation, but I knew it would result in less business. So the change is, and most important, like, the operational staff has to be kick-ass.
Yep.
Because nobody's going to come and be like, I want to be part of your band.
Yeah.
If the drummer and the keyboard player don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to have those foundational pieces, and that's the leverage that most people want. Like, new agents need to learn, and I know you put them through their paces. You have to understand how to make a side salad to work in this restaurant.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we want to move you on to other things and put you in your genius zone.
Yeah.
And let you cook.
Yep.
You know, so
I mean, that's the thing. We don't have, I don't tell people to come into the team and you have to call expireds and for sale by owners,
right.
or you have to door knock, or you can choose your own path within the team. Ultimately, you just have to make the steps necessary to drum up business so that you can live the life that you want to live.
Yep.
And we do have a phenomenal staff that allows, everybody to be able to trust each other, to be able to take that escape, which is huge.
Yeah. The operational staff at your place is obnoxious, if we're going to use a word. That's the only way I can describe it. You have an obnoxiously talented operational staff, and you have something in place that most teams don't have, is your ISA. And just to have somebody who just hounds the phones and helps by teeing up more appointments than most teams would tee up, because you've got that person just making calls. Talk to me about Brandon and the opportunity that he's created for the team.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon is awesome. He's a phenomenal asset to the team. His role is hard to come by, so I'm happy that we found him. Ultimately, we're going to end the year with roughly around 200 transactions, and I think Brandon was a result of probably like 50, maybe a little more than 50 of them. So, he's he's sitting in the office all day long and making his dials. He's texting, emailing people, and doing the follow-up that all of our agents necessarily don't always do. And it's not meant to replace our agents' follow-up and whatnot.
Sure.
It's to supplement it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have that in place. You talked earlier about the fact that when somebody joins, you don't necessarily tell them what they have to do for actions. What about a role? Like when people come in, are they moving through a cadence of you're going to be a buyer's agent and earn the right to get to the kitchen table? Or and obviously if you acquired talent from another brokerage and they've got 7 years under their belt and they're good to go, you wouldn't force them to get in the back of the line. I get that. But a new agent comes in and they're just getting started. What's the process for them to get to the point where you feel comfortable sending them out on their own? So, I mean,
ultimately, first of all, when you join our team, we used to have it so you joined as a buyer agent or a listing agent based on your personality. We got rid of that. So you can do either side of the transaction now. With that being said, we do train on the buyer side first. So when agents join the team, they're being trained on the buyer side. And that's part of our 30, 60, 90. Honestly, through that process, and one of the last things that we start to train people is that listing process. So anybody can take a listing on the team now. With that being said, based on your personality, based on your preferences, based on where you're at in your career, we try to drive certain leads to certain agents based on what they're doing, what their skill level is, what their personality is. So, some people are going to get more buyer leads than they would listing leads.
Yeah,
naturally.
So for you, what's the next step for the team? Like you've got a lot of talent in place. Your operational staff is tuned up. You've got an ISA that has, like you said, just probably provided 25% of what's taken place. I love that you said 200 too. Remember the time when you were across the hall from me and I walked in and you had 217 up on the whiteboard. I love telling this story. You had 217 up on the whiteboard and it was circled. And I just looked up. I'm like, can you just round up to an even number, like 220? And you explained, and I think this is important for people to hear. You're like, that 217 is important because it's everyone's goals amalgamated into one number. So when people see that awkward 217, they can see their life inside of mine.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool because I think so many, and to your point, and this happens all too often, people show up for their planning meeting for 2026. They're like, so we're going to do this. And then you're just going to cut the pie until everybody's got their portion of responsibility. And there's no, and we actually talked about this on our staff call this morning. Authorship is ownership. If I'm walking out of the team meeting with like, okay, this is what he just told me to do. Like, am I a business owner inside your business or am I an employee? And I'll argue for all of our team leads. When you sign that team contract, this is your coach speaking. When you sign that team agreement, you are relinquishing your independent contractorshipness. You have become a person who's holding up your standard inside of Nate's standard, inside of Gary's standard, right? And I think that was really important for me to understand about your business early on, because I think a lot of people don't think that way.
Yeah.
My team lead's going to tell us what we're doing next year.
Yeah.
I hope I'm starting some fights, because it'll be good conversations. If that's the meeting you're having with your team right now, call me, because you're doing it wrong. Said with love.
I mean, I have my goals for the team as well.
Sure.
You know, and we I honestly try to blend both. So, you know, they're going to do, you know, I'm not going to set goals for the individuals on the team.
Correct.
You know, they're going to do what they're going to do based on, you know, what they want in life. So what, you know, ultimately that's going to affect our numbers at the end of the day.
Yep.
And there's things that I can do from the business standpoint that will also affect the numbers. So, you know, whether that's growing our staff, whether that's adding more members to the team, you know, all of those things are going to affect the bottom line. So, you know, ultimately, if the team's goals aren't high enough and I want to do a little bit more business, I know that I need more people, or I need to funnel more business into, you know, in some other way to generate it.
Yep. What was when you open up the mega agent office and you're over on North Main Street? Yes.
Yes.
Is that considered south? It's south. Oh, all right. Yeah. Is it as soon as you get to that intersection that you go south and north? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll learn one of these days. Was there an oh gulp moment when you were cutting that ribbon? Like, how real was that for you? Like, you're on brick and mortar, like, you know, you're still standing side by side with Nate. Like, I know he's got my back, I have his back, but this is an oh shit moment, right? Yeah.
I mean, it definitely got real. You know, it's like a little kid leaving home.
Yep.
You know, it's great to be, I'm a couple minutes from the office. Every once in a while I ride my little like e-bike into the office, put my helmet on for safety.
I would love that. Yes. Very important.
And
train, you don't cross the train tracks, do you?
No, I would never do such a thing.
No, I'm saying, I don't know where you're coming from.
No, it's literally my drive into the office is like 5 minutes, and I think if I take the bike in, mostly because I got the e-bike because I wanted to blend in with the folk of Rochester. Everybody's got an e-bike there. It's all the cool kids are doing it anyway.
Everybody's doing it.
Takes me about 6 minutes to get there on an e-bike as opposed to 5 in a car. So,
do you use it for assist, or are you actually just throwing your ankles up in your sundress with the wicker basket, like just gliding into work?
No, I don't just. I assist. I actually do pedal.
I think there's such a misconception with e-bikes. Like, people don't realize, like, they're making different ones now. Now they're electronic. There are some electronic mopeds out there, but like if you go across the street to Trek, their e-bikes have just levels of assist.
Yeah,
like so when you pedal,
mine has all the levels of the assist, and then it has the throttle.
That's dope.
I rarely use the throttle unless I'm like going up a hill and I just want to brake for a moment.
Yeah,
yeah,
very cool.
Anyway, so. Honestly, it's fantastic having the office because now I have more exposure to the team name as well in the place that I do business. So I think like a year into that, we started to all of a sudden get the phone calls from town, you know, just because we're there.
Yeah.
So, which I think is great.
You're doing, this is going to be what? 7, 8? What Pi Day is this for you?
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know how long we've been doing it. Yeah, I mean, I would say probably around 7.
Okay.
I'm just thinking back of all the places we've ordered pies over the years, and
because you do Tuesday.
We do it on the Tuesday,
and then Nate does Wednesday.
Yep, exactly.
So you're all pied out by the time you hit
too much pie.
Chicken giving. Do you go to where do you do Thanksgiving?
Where do I do Thanksgiving?
You hosting? Itself? Yeah, you hosting?
I have no idea. My wife does that.
I'm aware of that. She's driving.
I show up and I eat the food.
Yes.
She tells me where I'm going to go. Some years it's at our house. Some years it's at her parents' house. And sometimes it's at my parents' house.
Folks.
So, we just kind of. I go where I'm told.
So, yeah, talk to me about the change in just your perspective on And work-life balance is such a shitty statement because it's not a thing. We're making choices every day. Like, but when obviously Amy comes into your life, you've got the girls. Now you have a little one.
Yeah.
Like, what does your day-to-day look like now, and how much has it changed?
So I mean, I still work. I still work evenings and I still work weekends. It doesn't like just shut off.
Sure.
Just because I have a team or anything like that. So, don't get the illusion that I'm just, it just stops. So work-life balance to me is having the support to be able to shut off when I need to. I still go out and do open houses on the weekends. Do I do it every weekend? No.
Yeah.
And we'll go out to dinner on evenings and stuff like that, and I can set it all aside. We can go on vacation. You'll talk to anybody on our team. They might bring their computer on vacation, but they don't check their emails. They're completely unplugged.
Yeah.
That's our goal, for everybody to be able to go on vacation without having to check in. And that's huge. We have a system set up so that when you take off, you're
Off.
You're off. You're done.
Because the last thing you want to hear as a leader is somebody gets back and they're like, well, I really wasn't off.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy my vacation because it was so busy.
Because it's annoying to hear as a leader when you told them to be off, and it also doesn't demonstrate to the rest of the team how they should behave. And above and beyond that, they could be just burning themselves out.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't really shut it off. And
yeah.
I know we work in an industry where, like, well, even when you're gone to Aruba, you're still checking stuff. Well, that's a decision you're making,
right?
Because even our solo artists could have another solo artist that they adore and just be like, "Can you watch my back while I'm gone?"
Yep.
I think Kel Course was somebody who did it. He was teaching Ignite on a Friday, and he was finishing, and he goes, "You know where this phone is going when I'm done?" And he put it in the office, and he locked the door, and he walked out of the building. I mean, it's Justin Kel Course, so it's a little different. He's going to get on his boat with his bacon and egg shirt and just ride off into the sunset.
He's not getting cell phone service in the middle of the ocean anyway. It's not going to do him any good.
I got no signal. Yeah, that's your easy excuse. Absolutely.
I do take my computer with me on vacation.
Yeah.
I do check the emails, but only first thing in the morning. I generally don't respond. I just want to know what's happening. I mean, ultimately, I wake up like an hour or two before my wife. I go for a run. I come back. She's still sleeping, so I have time to kill anyway. I just observe what's happening and make sure that I feel comfortable with everything.
The house is still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can go swim with the dolphins.
It's like checking, when you go out for the evening and you check back to your cameras at their house just to make sure that nobody's broken in. I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Same.
Yeah.
We talk as a staff here, like we've watched people lose family members and give birth to family members. Like, we watched the full circle of life here as a staff, because Nate and JV and Kaylee and I have been side by side. Kaylee got here in 2013, right? JV got here in 2008. I got here in 2010. So it's been quite some time. We've been side by side. We've all watched our kids grow up together. What's probably the coolest thing that you've seen happen on your team?
Oh man. Everybody's been through a lot. And then honestly, the team has evolved over the years.
Sure.
We have a fantastic group. Everybody gets along well. I mean, we have, Ezra on our team does like movie nights, and everybody goes to his house for movie nights. Sometimes it's a little too late for me because so I don't necessarily go. I mean, the last time I went over for his movie night, and
they woke you up.
I showed up, and then they started the movie, and I was like, all right, I'm going home to bed.
Good. Movie started. Have a great night, kids.
But it's nice that it's almost like a little side family that we have going, and I think that's a cool thing. They bring their kids into the office. We get to know them. One of Ezra's kids was just making fun of me yesterday, so, as
they should. Yeah.
And the dogs come into the office. Like, I mean, it's a fun environment. We all just get along, and I think
you brought up Ezra's kids making fun of you. I don't know if they were saying. I can only imagine. I remember the first time Aiden visited, and this is going way back. We were in the women's prison still, down on Islington Street.
Yeah.
And Aiden was like, because all he ever heard me refer to Nate as was Mayor McCheese.
Yeah.
So he's like, where's Mayor McCheese? Right. So I pointed. Remember, he was in that far corner. His office had like the roof over the bank.
Yeah.
That got robbed twice in 1 week by the guy across the street. And you had, and this is young Aiden Lindsay. I mean, if we were still there, probably maybe the year you showed up. So 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So Aiden's 7.
Yep.
And he goes and he looks, I'm like, don't make any noise. He's in a meeting. So he just poked his head around and he came back out and he was so disappointed that Nate didn't have a cartoon cheeseburger head.
Oh, geez.
He's like, I thought you said you worked for Mayor McCheese. I'm like, oh, sweetheart, that's just a term of endearment. It's not, that's Nate. And he goes, oh, he was like all confused and disappointed.
Yeah.
You were always really good about something. And I've always said to people, especially obviously when you guys were here in Portsmouth, I'm trust it still happens. I'm like, watch Zoeller's team. They're going to be door closed until they're done with lead gen. And there's always going to be a day that you'll see them wander into the office or leave early, but they're going to have golf shorts on and their glove is in their back pocket because you were an absolute demon about taking time off during the week too.
Yeah.
Like,
we work hard, play hard. Yeah.
Our friggin' clients don't know that you're golfing on Wednesday.
No,
they're at Liberty Mutual making the money to make their down payment. Like they're not looking for you at 11:35 on a Wednesday. Go do B, right?
I mean, I've always told everybody that, you know, if you have something personal going on, I mean, your clients don't need to know what that is. You're just on an appointment, and your personal stuff should be scheduled in there as well as an appointment. You know, it's part of your world. Schedule it in, make it happen.
Yep.
But yeah.
When you got here, and I don't know what it was, the Dallas trip, the handstands definitely in the lobby, because we talked about this Dallas trip the other day with a couple other people. There was a bar that would close at an unreasonable time, early, I mean, and then they would just kick us into the lobby, and we'd just stand there with our watered down gin and tonics until we were done, and then we would go to bed. The Storm Chaser guy was there.
Storm Chaser, yeah.
And he was hopped up.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing a handstand contest with you.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If there was some girl in the lobby.
There was a girl doing handstands that should not have been flipping over. Gravity was only helping the guys in the room. Yeah. So I don't think she was wearing underwear. And she definitely had a sundress on that undressed.
Yeah.
Yes, her sundress undressed.
I don't know how I ended up in that.
I do. It was like... You're like, hold my drink. I'm like, all right.
It was a challenge. I don't know. These people were doing handstands. I'm like, I could do that.
Oh my
and then
God.
all of a sudden we're doing like these races. They kicked us out of the lobby and sent us to this hallway because it was I don't know. It went up through all the floors of the hotel. I don't know if you remember. There was like 17 floors and there was this grand.
Well, there were 2 hotels. There's where we were, and I think Nate and Brad were at the other one that had the beer towers.
Yeah.
So we were always running back and forth. And we're heading over for day one. This is back, family reunion. Gary would have, you don't know about the coffee story.
Yeah.
And we're going over, and this is back in the day. Hi, Gary, you look great. Gary would start his first thing, not necessarily the vision speech. And Gary was into, oh God, help me, the pleated, chino-esque, weird black golf belt on the, but his pulled up to his nipples, like his nipples were tucked into his pants, and he's up on stage yelling. That started at 7, and all I remember is I'm a little bit behind Brad and JV. JV's on Brad's left, and you decide, I don't know why, you decided it was a great idea to run down, and you were going to make, and you're svelte, I'm not saying you're not, you were going to make yourself like Spider-Man, and you were going to duck in between Bradley and JV. You did, but your elbow on the way by jams JV and her fresh hot coffee all over you.
All over you.
All over you. It was amazing. And JV's like walking and she's like, I want to kill him, but I can't kill him because he's one of us. And she's not even broker at that point. Brad was JV agent that didn't kill you that day.
Yeah. Brad was on point with the all over you.
Yes.
I was up. It was funny because I was up late that night. Where did we go? We went to the bar that had all the toilet seats out at like double wide or something or other.
Yes.
But I was up late that night and I just woke up and was running over to the place. So
And you were trying to split the seam, and it didn't really. I mean, Brad was fine.
Yeah, Brad was absolutely fine.
JV
She
not
was
so much.
Not impressed.
Of all the trips, I mean, there's been a ton of trips, and we have another one coming up to Atlanta, and you've been on a bunch of them. When was the first time you took a KW trip? And obviously you might have traveled with your other firms, but the first KW trip you went on when you realized, like, okay, they're really dead serious about getting together and learning. And
Dallas was the first trip.
that was the first one. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were. That was what, 4 months deep into my career here. So
Okay.
that was early 2013, and I think I started in November of 2012. So,
Yep.
that was the first trip, and I thought we had a blast. You had a room with me. I don't know how you felt.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Yeah, we had a lot of people bunking up on that trip. That was an incredible trip. I think we had a new agent who bunked up with one of our senior agents, and there's just stories to tell. There's probably a 60 minutes miniseries that could do the Dallas
that
trip.
was at the time. I think when I joined Keller Williams, there was like 125 agents in this office.
I believe you.
And that was the time where, like, I feel like the real growth started happening, where agents were starting to flock in. So I think that was part of all the.
They figured out we weren't a paint store at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
When Nate first called me, he's like, I opened a Keller Williams. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that exactly mean? For you, what's been the thing? And I had this conversation, a great conversation with Troy, where he shared some astronomical numbers. I know every one of our agents. And if you're here and you just got started and they haven't called you yet, they're going to call. All of our agents are getting poked and prodded and called and recruited and attracted every day. What keeps Mark and his business here?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, really what it comes down to is everybody treats everybody right. They care, in my opinion, they care about me, they care about our business. And the support here is fantastic. I mean, it's one of the top training companies. Keller Williams is rated one of the top training companies in the world, right? Or in the US.
Yeah, across all industries. Yep.
And if you look at a lot of the Keller Williams offices, I would say that our office is probably one of the best that are leading the way on that education aspect. And to have that support for the team, not that they go to everything, but to have that available, I think is huge. And to be able to, run your business independently and fall back on people when you need them, and they're there to support you when you do. I think that's huge. And the people are great. I mean, Nate's great. You're great. The staff here is phenomenal. And they're only a phone call away if you need them. So
yeah. The roadmap series that we started, and you did the listing presentation on Tuesday. I think it's no secret since COVID, our attendance, and it's funny when we're in meetings, when I'm in productivity coaching masterminds at national events, people are like, we're struggling with engagement. And I'm like, can we stop using that word? Because that's not what we're saying. We mean attendance, right? And for us, it's something we're going to battle for the rest of forever, because we're 4 states and 560 agents. And I love blaming him because I love him. Joey sweats up in Colebrook, New Hampshire. Like, we're not going to shut the cameras off.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'd never get, and will everybody see this? No, but if they catch it, sure. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's a jackass. So this is only going to be here for 30 days on FaceBase, but it's also going over to YouTube. And, for us to be able to have these conversations that somebody could trip over at some point, I think that's really important. The attendance thing is one thing, and we have struggled with it without fail. And I think this is important, I think when we have an opportunity to put our peers in the front of the room, like we did the other day, you had 22 people in the room, and you're like, oh, maybe I just popped your balloon. You're like, I thought it was 30, Timmy, but like 22 is a big number. Yeah. Like, we do live contracts every Wednesday, and we have a handful of people. Most of them are on Zoom. So for 22 people to join you in Portsmouth is a big deal, and I think that's one of the coolest things that people probably misunderstand on the outside. They're like, nah, all that altruistic bullshit. They're not actually all sharing. And why wouldn't you? Because you know this. You had kids from your team were in the room. Yep. Obviously, they were forced to go. I get that.
Not at all. I didn't actually tell a single person to go.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. But there are people in the room that took copious notes. This happens in any learning opportunity. They're like, oh my God, did you hear what he said? And they wrote that down. They wrote that down. They wrote that down. Poop on the floor. They wrote that down. They got everything that you said for the hour and 30 minutes that you spent with us. And then how many of them will go implement? And honestly, and egos aside, if they stole anything from you, most of what you've put into place is best practices you've learned over time.
Yeah, and I told people that. I mean, it's there's some stuff that
you said it 4 minutes in. You're like, it's all stolen.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's people that have been here before me.
Yes, that
have done well, and I'd be damned if I didn't learn from them.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my twist on it.
Sure.
And ultimately, do things my own way based on how I feel. And, I expect the agents on our team to do the same thing. Use what we're doing and make it your own. I mean, learn it, but make it your own.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best way to go about it. So I'm happy to I gave everybody everything that I give on a listing presentation.
Yep.
And then afterwards I said, then I think only one person actually emailed me. I'm like, I'll send you my script for my listing presentation as well. And I'm happy to share anything.
Yep.
I do know that, if I share it to 30 people, that maybe one person will actually implement anything.
Yeah.
But I hope
they might implement it once. And I'm not picking on anybody. It's just human nature.
I mean, just take a part of it anyway, and use a part of it because it helps. Everything helps.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge is people go to mega camp or family and they're leaving and they're like, I got these 80,000 things I want to do. It's like, like have your list, but just you have to earn the right to leave the first thing that you implemented and got running to go to the next thing. You know, and Adam's the same way. Adam would give you everything that he's got, and it's not because he's trying to prove that he's a great person or that you're trying to prove most of it. And I heard this finally. I've always been annoyed, and if I'm going on this rant again and somebody's annoyed, I apologize, but I'm going to go on the rant. You spent 90 minutes with us the other day, and all of that stuff was inherently yours. And we've got people in our industry that will do less than 90 minutes and they'll throw a price tag on it. Yeah. And usually the verbiage that you hear is, hey, join Timmy for his tips and tricks, which makes me want to just jump out of our first floor window. And Cody Gibson from Maps Coaching finally put language on it. So I know that Gary's sitting there saying, I hate this. What do we need to call it? Because people have to stop doing it. There is something that is a standard best practice that when Mark makes it his own, it becomes a unique practice.
Yeah.
So when you peel away the creativity of the Zoeller group from what you taught the other day, people will see the foundational stuff that's in the red book, that's in Shift.
Right.
You know? And I just find it completely disingenuous that we have agents within our greater KW ecosystem that will do just that and throw a price tag on it.
Yeah.
And I just,
so God bless. Saying I could have gotten paid for that?
No. We'll go see Nate. Go see Nate. Yeah, he'll hit your Cash App. Yeah. It's just fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me. And everybody was super grateful. It was awesome having you for that. We got next month, we're having Zach do roadmap. Zach Eaton is going to do his buyer presentation.
Oh, nice.
What I want to talk to you about before you escape is just your relationship with Nate. Like I know you talked about, you were hanging out with Nate. Nate's inviting you to lunch. I think Troy admitted he finally stopped and decided to join the company because Nate took him to the 30th lunch and said, "This is enough. You're paying this time." And he didn't want to pay for lunch, so he's like, "All right, I guess we're gonna start dating." And then Adam told his story. Like, what was it for you that finally was the tipping point to come over here and play with us?
Yeah, I mean, so a tipping point to come over and play. I mean, like. I met with both Nate and Tom, back years ago. I don't know how many times Nate and I had gotten coffee or he was chatting with me on the corner of the room, and he was never high pressure about it at all. It was more of a side mention, like we'd go get coffee or we'd go get lunch and, he'd just talk about me, my business, and he'd want to learn, what's going on in my world, like, what can make it better. And then subtly at the end, it was always like, hey, by the way, you should come over. What's it going to take for you to come over? Or just, something like that. And, I respect him. I respect his, tenacity, I guess. And ultimately, the fact that he wasn't extremely high pressure, because if he was, I probably would have started kind of pushing away a little bit. I wasn't ready at the time when we first met. And, ultimately I was going through changes in my world where I wanted to improve and make some differences. And he was in front of me when that time came. And I think that's important. But Nate in general, he's just a phenomenal guy. I'm glad that I've gotten into business with him. Part of like these trips that we do, we go to family reunion or mega camp. One of the things that I always look forward to is, a possible opportunity to have, a drink or dinner with Nate, because he's a great guy. He cares and he's funny.
I'd love to get like trail cam footage of like your first time getting together, because you're both high D's.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, how are you? Good. How's work? Good. How's your life? Expensive.
Yeah.
We can be done in 7 minutes.
Wow, you really drank that coffee quick.
You both take it black, right? Do you?
I do. Yeah. and that actually started because I didn't really, I didn't like to have to keep putting cream in the coffee when they come back to pour it at a restaurant. It was just too much work.
Yes.
So then I trained myself to like black coffee, and now I can't go back on that.
Nathan. It's so funny. It's such a humble brag. We were just at Mega, and every morning we would just go down to the hotel restaurant, and it would be me and Ashley and JV, and Ashley and I are like, I'm getting my whatever. I don't know what I do. I'm trying to.
Creamsicle?
No, Splenda, but like a dash of milk just to take the sharp off, and some Splenda, and Ashley's doing whatever she's doing, and JV just very proudly. It's such a humble brag, like, oh no, I just take it black. I'm like, okay, I'm knitting on, I'm sewing on that merit badge. Yep, yeah. Her, Brad, you, Nate, all the cool kids. Yep. Yeah. Oh no, I have a 30-gallon cold brew over here. That's it's got all the stuff in it. Yeah, cold foam, all the princess accoutrement. I ask everybody before they escape, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? Personal, business, real estate, I don't care.
Best piece of advice that I've ever been given.
Yeah. And maybe something was so effective for you, you've applied it to others and given it to them.
I mean, I think ultimately, and I couldn't tell you if this was like it was advice that I've been given. So at the end of the day, we're all capable of achieving what we want to achieve. It's just a matter of doing the things that you have to do to achieve it. And I can't put that on any specific person. It's just a multitude of people have said different variations of that over the years. Yeah. And I mean, it's absolutely true. We all have
168 hours every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's, I think the best thing that I can say that I've learned over the years is that, if you want to, as an individual agent, achieve 200 transactions in the year, you can. If you as a team want to do 1,000, whatever, I think we could do 1,000. I haven't accepted that because it means a lot of different changes.
Sure.
And
sounds like 5X.
I like the community that I've created.
Yeah, sure.
And I appreciate that. And right now, any growth that I have on our team is very strategic. I want to make sure that they're going to fit in our little bubble, because I love the people that I'm working with. So, but yeah, I mean, ultimately anybody can do anything. You just got to do the things that you're supposed to do to get there. I don't know if that is what you're looking for.
Got it. Yeah, that'll be on the quiz later. Yeah. What's the opportunity in the market right now that you're excited that you're talking to your team about that maybe some people are missing?
The opportunity in the market. I mean, I think we're going through some changes in the market. And and change is, in my opinion, where growth actually happens. I mean, you go into the stock world, most people will make their money when things are changing, you know what I mean? Whatever direction, they're just making the proper moves. Same thing in real estate. I mean, I look at going back in time, you know, we had a market crash in 2008 or whatever. And at that point in time, I think that was my biggest growth period. So, I mean, accept the change and adapt to it and work through it, because ultimately the people that work through it are going to end up being stronger and better on the other side of it.
Yeah, I think they talked about it for this year, and we don't have the final numbers yet, but for this year, they were saying it was going to be between 3.9 and 4.1 million transactions in the U.S.
Yeah.
And I think for us at our little bubble at 463, your bubble at Zoeller, and for the solo artist that's listening to this, like, your goal fits inside of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 4.1 million transactions. That's going to get you there.
Just take your unfair share. I mean,
go get your unfair share.
I mean, that was kind of our goal. And one of the goals that we set in Rochester was to increase our market share from, it was 3.3 last year to 5% this year. We're at I think volume, we're like 5.6 or something. Excellent. So, you know, just take your unfair share. I mean, just don't make it Rochester.
Not allowed to make it Rochester. Stay off my sidewalk. Damn it. All right, Mark, we appreciate you hanging out. If people want to send you a referral, how do they do that? Or if they want to send anything to your team, how do they do that? Best way to get a hold of you, to work with you.
Yeah. So you can call our office at 603-610-8560. You can, I mean, if you want to reach out to me directly, my email is mark@tzghomes.com. And yeah, I mean, if anybody like wants me to share that listing presentation, I'm happy to send it. I still got to send to somebody the other day. But happy to share anything that we're doing. They'll get all the PDFs.
All the PDFs.
Yeah.
All right. Grandpa Zoeller is out of here. Thanks for hanging out, brother. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.